Good evening, everybody. This is Friday evening with 15 Minutes with Uncle Russ, coming to you live from Bantai. Yeah, that's from our home. Nice to see you. How's your week been? Oh, my week's been manic. So busy. So many things happening, but God's been good. I must tell you, I'm a little bit tired and my body's a little bit sore. I've been doing some physical work this week, but it's all been worth it. Amen. So I'm going to share a story. Now, I know before you told me I've spelt it wrong. I haven't. Aesop's fables have spelt it this way. The plane tree. And you see there? The plane tree. Yeah, so I'm going to read us a story and then we'll make a little comment on it. Is that okay? Two travelers walking in the noonday sun sought the shade of a wide-spreading tree to rest. As they looked looking among the pleasant leaves, they saw that it was a plane tree. How useless is this plane tree, said one of them. It bears no fruit whatever, and only serves to litter the ground with leaves. Ungrateful creature, said a voice from the plane tree, you lie in my cooling shade, and yet you say I'm useless. Thus, ungrateful, O Jupiter, do men receive their blessing. I talk to the tree, and they talk back to me. Yeah. So, the moral of this fable is our best blessings are often the least appreciated. So I want to go to Exodus 32 verse 1 to 6, and it's a story about the golden calf. So Moses goes and he's going to get the 10 commandments. He goes up into Mount Sinai and he's spending time with God, and God's writing out the 10 commandments. And oh, my wife just walked through my picture. That is amazing. Are you finished, yeah? Yeah. There she walks back through my picture again. Oh, okay. Life goes on. Right, I think I'm running out of battery. Sorry, guys. And it says here that Moses was away for a while, so they became disenchanted, and then they put pressure on Aaron and said, wow, what's this happening? So, it says, now the people saw that Moses delayed coming down from the mountain. The people gathered together to Aaron and said to him, come, make us gods that shall go before us. For as this Moses, the man who brought us out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him. And Aaron said to them, break off the golden earrings which are in your ears of your wives, your sons, your daughters, and bring them to me. So all the people broke off golden earrings which were in their ears and brought them to Aaron. And he received the gold from their hand, and he fashioned it with a graving tool and made a molded calf. They said, this is your God, O Israel, that brought you out of the land of Egypt. So when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it, and Aaron made a proclamation saying, tomorrow is the feast of the Lord. Then they rose early on the next day and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings, and the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. Jeez, how's that for ungratefulness? You in bondage for 430 years, have a hard time. God delivers you, takes you on your journey to the promised land, and then you go and worship a molded calf. And you don't acknowledge that he brought you out of the land of bondage. Shame. Numbers 11, 1 to 6. Now when the people complained, it displeased the Lord, for the Lord had heard it, and his anger was aroused. So the fire of the Lord burned among them and consumed some in the outskirts of the camp. Then the people cried out to Moses, and when Moses prayed to the Lord, the fire was quenched. So he called the name of the place Taberah, because of the fire the Lord had burned among them. Now the mixed multitude were among them. yielded to intense craving. So the children of Israel also wept again and said, who will give us meat to eat? We remember the fish which we ate freely in Egypt, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, and the garlic. But now our whole being is dried up, and there's nothing at all except this manna before our eyes. What an ungrateful bunch. So you remember they were going through the desert, there was nothing to eat, and manna fell from heaven, the bread of heaven, to feed them, and kept them. The 6 days they only needed to collect manna, and double on the 6th day so that they didn't have to do anything on the Sabbath. And now it stinks. And they want fish, and they want melons and leeks and garlics and cucumbers and onions, while they were being whipped and whacked and put under bondage. Another story about ungratefulness. Our dear friend Jonah. How's this? Jonah 4, verse 5 to 11. So Jonah went out of the city and sat on the east side of the city. There he made himself a shelter and sat under it in the shade, that he might see what would become of the city. He wanted that city to be burned to the ground. And the Lord prepared a plant and made it come up over Jonah, that it might be shade for his head, to deliver him from his misery. So Jonah was very grateful for the plant. But as the morning dawned the next day, God prepared a worm, and so he damaged the plant that it withered. And it happened when the sun rose, God prepared a vermin east wind, and the sun beat on Jonah's head so that he grew faint. Then he wished death for himself and said, it is better for me to die than to live. Then God said to Jonah, is it right for you to be angry about the plant? And he said, it is right for me to be angry, even to death. But the Lord said, you have pity on the plant for which you have not labored, nor made it grow, when it came up in the night and perished in the night. Yeah. And should I not pity Nineveh, the great city in which was more than 120,000 persons who cannot discern between their right hand and their left, and much livestock? Jeepers. So God prepares a plant for him and gets a worm to get it to wither, and he's all grumpy. How about us? How many of us perhaps have been unemployed and we beg God, oh Lord, if you can just get me this job, I'll serve you all the days of my life. And then we get the job and our boss is harsh. Maybe it's a bit unfair, but we got a job. Every month you get your paycheck and all the little perks that go with it, with being employed. But before long, we're around that water fountain, nattering and complaining about our boss, how awful it is, and how hard the job is, and the hours you have to work, and the distance that we have to travel, and it's matter, natter, natter. But when we were unemployed, we said, Lord, give me a job, just any job. As long as I'm employed, I can take care of my family. And then what happened? You see? Or maybe we've been waiting for a wife or a husband for a long time. And we just put so much pressure. We want, Lord, I need. And he said, okay, there you go. And they don't turn out quite like we had on our list that we gave him. Then we have the mutters again. Amen. Yes, that's us. We're never ever grateful. Why can't we be content and grateful for the little things? The fact that we have a home, that we have food to eat, water to drink, electricity for those that don't, the whole LS thing. Another LS thing. Where suddenly it goes dark. Yeah, but still, there are people that never have load shedding because they never have electricity. In fact, they don't even have a home. So we still need to count our blessings. Amen. I told you, Man, we are such a weird bunch. And so how do you like that? Sorry, I'm laughing. I don't need to laugh at you. I'm laughing at me because, when I relate the story to you, I'm actually talking especially to me because, man, I've had the mutters about this, that, and the other. You want this and then you get it, and then you find that it's not quite the thing that you should have asked for in the first place. And now you have to deal with all the difficulties that come with something that's outside the will of God. Yeah. How you like that? You okay with that? I'm fine with it. Anyhow, so my dear friends, it's Friday night, all dressed and nowhere to go. But have a great Friday, spend time with the family. Look forward to the sporting weekend. I'm so out of it. I don't know if it's cricket season or rugby season or any season. But I used to be an ardent supporter, for those who remember. And now I have no idea who is doing what. But have a great Saturday, spend time with the family. Okay, don't forget, please guys, fellowship. Fellowship. All of you get into the ship. Spend time with each other, encourage each other, pray for each other, sing music and make music together, break bread together, worship the King. Is that okay? Yes. There should be no reason for us not to be fellowshipping. It's so weird because I find that many times people don't have time. Oh, I'm so busy. But if you look at the time spent with God and the time spent doing our thing, that's why the ratio is way out of proportion. But be that as it may, remember, I'm going to say my normal thing. If I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window. God bless and goodbye until next time. This is Uncle Russ signing off. Toodle-doo.